me to say something or?
Yes, talk.
Oh, okay. I'm talking.
Yes, you're talking. Okay. Boost you bit here, and then boost you bit here. All right, say something more. Hello.
Something more.
Something more. You excited for the bosses later?
Sure.
Sure. Wow, such excitement.
Yeah,
Contain
so much
yourself,
excitement.
please. You're on
Well,
stream.
I already
okay?
know nothing's going to drop.
Yeah, that's the spirit. Not with that attitude. Nothing will drop.
I mean, you have the before and after since I made the picture of what I had in my inventory for my Mercedes, and it hasn't changed.
It hasn't changed. Well, maybe that's because you don't
And
safeguard
it's been weeks.
your endless terrors when you tap them, you know?
That doesn't mean I shouldn't get any arcanes.
Well, maybe the game just sees what what you do with the items that you get is like, well, maybe you don't deserve them, you know?
Yet it gives me book and eye patch in like the first couple weeks of running it.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, but you kept it at 18, never mind. I guess you don't want another one.
It was better than the 20 pink bean. And it was
Probably,
2-set.
yeah. Easy 2-set bonus. All right, what are we looking at? Are you 280 yet?
278.
278. Very nice. All right, what's the deal here? What are we helping you with today?
I don't know. I'm mostly looking to get to the point of funding another character, because I'm looking at making strongers, either side characters or C10A mules.
Okay, so see a mule, 3-man, 4-man, 2-man, solo. What's the goal there?
Well, it's solo until it's duo.
Sure. Okay. So the goal is to just get in there as early as possible, get chances
Yeah.
for rings, and then slowly progress towards smaller and smaller parties.
I'm trying to. Right now, my Lynn is the second one that's getting into C10A, but after that, it's going to be a Dawn Warrior.
Gotcha.
And then
Okay.
just getting to the point of wanting to actually get my main to a point where I can start sending all the money to the others.
Okay. Yeah. All right, and then so the main question is like, what is like more reasonable stuff to do on the main before you start divesting from big upgrades there?
Before I start stealing from the main, basically, because right now my main steals from my others.
Yeah, well, that's kind of
And
how
like
it
I
should
have
be for a long
every,
time, right? Yeah.
I have every black flame still in this event that I haven't used, and I just don't know if I even want to use them on my main.
Right, but you haven't started Lib yet, right?
No.
No.
So.
Yeah, then they're gonna have to go on something. So the first thing we look for is Arcane Weapon, which you have a tier 7 and 85 dex, so that's probably not going to be very valuable. Then we look at the other things you would keep for a long time, which would be Pitched. You have 79
Which
and
may
4.
not be the eye patch. Because the eye patch is 18 and it has to still be starred. So I'm probably going to keep that until I get a second one.
Yeah, but it's only 18, right? So even if you fail to go... Even if you fail to go up, at most you'll lose 1 star, but it's already 3-line dex.
Yeah, I'm more saying with the... I'm probably not going to star that one until I get a second eye patch, which then I would star that one, and if I starred that one, I would be using that one's flame.
Yeah, when you say that one, you mean the new one?
Yeah.
We try to like frog leap them over each other?
Yeah, so I don't know if it's necessarily worth going all out on that.
Okay, makes sense.
It's like I can put them in the book, but the book's already like the 130 or whatever.
Yeah, but that might still be the best thing to throw them on. Let's see, where are the arcanes at? 102 and 5, that's solid. 85 and 6 with 85, that's also solid. So they're like over 150, then I don't really want to flame those more. Cape 102 and 4. So it's more like a 142, so that one's over there. 68 and 6, 56 and 5. And 36 and 5 with 5 attacks. That's like a 50, not bad. So it's barely over 100, but that's going to... Yeah, doing it on CRA is a bit memes. A bit memes. Memes is book is 80 and 5. What I have on mine? 70 and 6 with 5 attack. Yeah, if you're not gonna keep that, and I'm leaning towards maybe a little bit on the book, but otherwise, yeah, other characters, because...
Inside I'm 4 weeks off of Easy Callus giving me an Eternal Helmet, though I'm not going to be equipping that anytime soon from what I understand.
Yeah, but it's probably going to be like a 22 before you switch kind of deal, right?
Yeah, and Lib, right?
And Lib, yeah. So you would trace, if it does boom, it goes into the trace and it stays, so that would be a better flame use then. But even then, it's not yeah, I don't know if you're going to use all of them, so it's probably good to have some kind of contingency on what to use after if you get something good on there. You said how many more weeks? 4?
Yep.
So yeah, that'll be cutting it pretty close to the end of the event, so it's good to have a plan.
I'm at 16 currently.
Yeah. Well, I would look for... If it's like your first Eternal, you're not even sure if you're going to hold on to it.
Well, I can't equip the Eternal until I get Lib, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lib is minimum 8 months away.
Yeah, and that's at least more 8 months away, yeah. Well, what's the alternative, though, is what I'm thinking is... The alternative is mostly items that you can probably just roll with powerful or maybe some event Eternals. They would just have so much...
I feel like the alternative is hope I get a arcane weapon on my Lynn and just go for tier 7.
Yeah, but the value of a tier 7 versus getting a way better flame on your Eternal. Dudutla is saying you can wear 22 Eternal without Lib. I mean, your current CRA is 21, so you... Maybe because of that, but I think you still have to get a really good flame in. What's your current pot on it? Was it 27? Oh, 21, yeah. Wait, it would... Was it is it 21 with Lib hat? Is that what the... With Lib set? Oh, if it's 22, then that should work. But yeah, I mean, you have to hit 22 first. Yeah, alternative would be... I don't know if you would, like, chase a tier 7 necessarily on the Lynn. Like, tier 6 with a bunch of extra percentage damage is always really close as well, right?
I mean, sure.
Well, I'm looking more for, like, efficiency on the flames. Like, if it can use the flames to get tier 7, but you use pretty much all of them up, versus you use, like, I don't know, like a quarter or less of them to get your tier 6 and extra bonus, and then you can have, like, 400 of them left to use on, or 300 of them left or something, to use on other items and bring up your average flame score in your entire account by, like, 100. Yeah. That would give you way more damage, right? That's more how I'm thinking about it.
It's just that my Lynn is in a situation where it doesn't actually have a lot of arcanes to put stuff on, and throwing flames at Abslab just seems troll.
Yeah, I mean, CRA would be a high priority there, because you would keep those for longer.
Yep.
Aim for some, like, 110s or 115s or something on CRA.
Yeah, I haven't exactly been giving this character much flames. It's just the flames that drop.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
what I got
6,
the opening.
Mm-hmm.
And of course I have what?
Of course you got a 40 and 6 on the cup, but for strength, because it's int character.
Yeah.
Typical.
I'm leapfrogging those as well, with just red flames that drop.
Mm-hmm. His Lynn is doing Colossus? No, his Mercedes is doing Colossus. His Lynn is probably not even at Colossus level at the least. What level is your Lynn? Like 262 or something?
260.
260, yeah.
Yeah. It's probably gonna... I'm probably not gonna worry about progressing my Lynn further in level-wise right now, because it's just... Like, I can't do the Hexa on both characters. I just can't.
No, that's true.
I'll do the daily Cernium, but that's about it. And I guess the 3,000 kills.
Yeah, you can get extra soul energy.
I'm tempted to give it the High Mountain, but it's a 260 going to High Mountain.
Yeah, I heard it's. I mean, it's doable, but it's quite a big time commitment.
You
It'd
know,
make more sense to me to just pick up the dailies then on the Lynn
already
for
do.
like 3 or 4 days a week or something. If you want to
Yeah.
get 40 there, right, and then do High Mountain on the main character, especially if you're also not trying to push levels, because then the EXP would also go into your main character instead.
Pretty much.
That's what I would do then, if that's your goal. But yeah, pushing
There's
2
just no
hexes
reason
is
to
tough,
push
yeah, for sure.
levels.
The reason would be to get access to the next symbol. You want to have at least 2 symbols, preferably 3, if you were trying to get into like Saren and Kalos. But if you're really just trying to do C10 Emule, then you don't really have to push any levels. No, it's all
I
about
just don't see the
backups.
point in pushing into those before I get Hexa stuff. And if I
Yeah.
don't plan on doing Hexa on my Lynn anytime soon, I don't see the point.
Oh yeah, just get the origin and like unlock your 2 masteries and just go from there.
Yeah.
I would say that's already very solid damage for very much nothing.
And that's mostly just getting the Soul Urta because the Lynn... I got the 300 fragments from the Lynn questline thing.
Oh, true. Yeah. Was it 300? It was like 2 different amounts, right? Depending on the level you got to.
I got 300.
Gotcha.
I think it was based on if it was... I don't know.
Yeah, whether it was 260 by the end of the event, I think you got more.
I think it was if it was 260 when you already made it. Like, maybe it was by the end of the event, but I think it was if it was already 260.
Yeah, I've got some on mine. I don't remember exactly how many.
I wasn't 260 by the end of the event anyway.
Mm-hmm. Where are these maths here?
Or what maths?
800, 1.4, 3.5, 4.
Oh, I was looking at how much money I was getting per week from bosses.
Gotcha. So what, 9.5 from bosses and...
Yeah.
without
So
the grinding?
my funding with grinding is somewhere between 16 and 20.
Yep, depending on how much you grind. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. North of 100. So it's like, well, that's possibly like super long run solo C10A, right? Probably duo for more straightforward clears.
If I actually got good at them,
Wait, this is
probably
the
about
mobbing
20
setup.
minutes.
This is your this
No,
part,
that's my boss.
but that's the mobbing hyper though here.
And on the left is not.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna be like, but it's mobbing, but it's bossing, huh? But this stat window in the middle is for the bossing, right? Because your IED is super high here. Yeah.
The stat window's boss. I don't see a point in that window for mobbing because my combat power mobbing is like 50 mil.
Yeah, I gotcha. It's 184 crits with vicious shot. You get to wait. With vicious shot, you go to like 200% crit damage.
I don't have vicious shot there. That's
so you
not
get
what.
92%, right?
I mean, I could check.
Should be half of the critical rate.
I just have to buff up and I can check. But yes, it should be half of the crit.
Because I'm wondering, with your IED so high and your functional IED extra, I'm thinking for your bursts, you probably want to yank like the extra 2 skills here over 10, the extra 2 hyperset points out of IED and slam those into regular crit rate instead to get even more crit damage on your burst, I think.
So I put it at 10.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, like...
Would that even get my crit damage higher by taking 2 points out? Like,
yeah, because right now
kind
you
of
have...
expensive.
What is expensive?
Getting the... It's 95 to level 1 time for the crit damage. Would taking 2 points out of IED actually let me get my crit damage to 15?
No, into into critical rate, so that during vicious shot
Oh,
it
into
gives you
crit
critical
rate.
damage. Yeah, because it transfers, right? So you can go from 2% in crit rate now to like 15, which is 13% more. So during vicious shot you get 6.5% extra critical damage.
This IED is also taking into account that I have 35% from Dream Messenger, the event buff.
The Dream Messenger, you have the
The
critical
event
rate.
the event buff is 35% IED right now for me.
Yes, yes. But even then, you have, is it a 40 and a 30 extra IED functionally?
I have 51% from Spikes Royale and I think 20% on everything.
51. Oh, so it's a 30 and another 30.
What
Yeah.
do you mean a 30 and another 30?
Well, if you add 30%, and then the second 30 is only 70% efficient, right? So 70% of 30 is 21, so 30 plus 21 is
Where's the
51.
30 coming from? Huh?
Is it... Well, it would be... It's straight up 51%. Yeah, but it would be the same efficiency as if you had 2 lines of 30, is what I'm saying.
Mm,
2 debuffs of 30.
okay.
But yeah, 151%, yeah.
And then
Um,
it's 20% on everything else.
is that boost nodes that you mean, or is it just... That's
Yeah,
also a
boost
debuff?
node. All my boost nodes are 20%.
Yep. Dose of 30 is 49. Fuck, am I messing up the math again? Is it 19? Isn't it 0.7 left? Nah, someone dropped the maths. I'll read it. I just know it's around 50. It goes from 50 to 51 because of combat orders, right? So subtract 21 from 70, not add 21 to 30. Okay, yeah. There's 70 that's left. 21. You know, if you have
So
0, you add a 30%, you add 30, then you have 70% left, then you add another 30, you add 30% of the 70% that's left, which is 21, you add that to the original 30, you end up at 51, no?
how high would you put your crit rate?
How am I write it out. How would I put the crit rate? Well, I would, if I wanted to know for sure, I would look at some calculator or ask someone who is like around level 280 Mercedes and see where they have it. But I would say, I think you automatically just want to slam it to 10 with the IED points and then kind of see how many points you have left. And then the points you have left probably want to go into boss damage and into damage more than into crit rate in the hyperstats because of the diminishing returns of crit rate past, because you already have so much crit rate. So the broad strokes of it is that while you're bursting, you know your critical damage because it's all additive, right? Your base critical damage is it's 20 to 50%, right? So 35% on average, I believe.
I don't know.
If you hover over it, it should say.
Hover
Yeah, so
over
base
the
critical
crit
damage
rate?
is multiplier of 20 to
No,
50%
for
for critical damage. Yeah. So I usually average that for 35. So you add 35 to whatever number you have there during your biggest burst, and that's like your total critical damage. So you looks like you'll be at like 200, so 235, an extra 6.5, so 241, and then with the G skills as well, right?
Yeah.
So like 261%. So just 1% in the hyperstats is 1% out of 261. So it's about 250th, so like 0.4% FD, roughly, for one level there. And then your total damage would be your damage percent plus your boss damage combined, plus the base of 100%. So with this setup, that looks like 400, 500, 630%, something like that. So if you had 4% to that, that's like 157. So that's like 0.7% final damage for 4% instead. So I think it's more efficient. Like if you're going like past level 12, again, this is like a lot of, this is just like kind of like mental what I'm guessing. But if you throw it into it, like a true calculator should give you those numbers. My guess is your hyperset setup wants to be something like 10, 10, 11, 10, 13, 14 or something like that. I think that would end up with more damage.
I think the min-max is taking out of Legion as well and putting it into crit rate.
Sorry, say that again. The min
I
max
think
is
min-max is taking stuff out of IED and Legion as well and putting it into crit rate.
Have you checked into the what is the buff duration meta for Mercedes?
What's the point? It's not there.
Is that
It's like,
there?
what are you what duration are you buffing?
Terms and conditions.
Okay, for just baseline attacking.
For the if you can get
Your
your
burst
entire
is
burst
over.
off, yeah, okay.
Your
Well,
burst is over in
yeah,
just
that's the
the
main question.
baseline terms.
Because for some, yeah, that's why I'm asking. Because for some classes,
Yeah.
like the entire duration of the whatever key down you have, plus if that fits neatly within a regular one, then the next stuff to do, is look at whether you put it in critical rate or you put it in like main stat or maybe even an attack, but like main stat maybe over other stuff. But there definitely could be some skipping away from the ID. Maybe not for soloing, but like specifically for partying, because there's probably some other party member that even has more IED, and then you're just way over on the IED part, right? Because you don't have bossing FAMs right now, so you're probably also using that 20% IED when you're bossing, I'm guessing?
No.
You just
I
use the
use
healing?
healing fans.
Okay. Yeah, so if the healing is not necessary in the boss, and you could even use the ID fam, then you could move even more out. And then I would guess, that you probably would take ID out towards critical rate for your burst, or towards like flat dex for your general DPM and damage output as well.
Yeah.
But that's like calculator work, because like late game, end game Archer gets pretty complicated with your burst, and then you have to know if you have to do like a BA, like what percentage is your burst, what percentage is your DPM, and how the sharp eyes. I mean, the best thing you can do is just try a few different setups and just do the BA in all of them and just see what the difference is, right? And then just write down your findings, or I would say check other Mercedeses that already have done some of that work and kind of discuss with them like what their options were and what they ended up doing. So I would say the class Discord should be able to help you there quite a bit.
It's probably changed, but I do remember doing a Black Mage BA and
Scouter.
comparing it to my Kalos, and in the 40 seconds, I did half of what I did in 3 minutes. Or I guess 35 seconds. I did half of what I did in 3 minutes.
Yeah. So that DPM is 2.5
great.
minutes versus, or 2 minutes 20 seconds versus 35 seconds, same damage kind of thing.
Probably not even 35 seconds. That 35 seconds is just generous.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but the question isn't necessarily like where your HP versus DPM stands as much. I mean, that's like part of the equation, right? But the other one is if you're switching into... So for you, if you could switch into getting more damage out of your burst, that would be way more efficient for your like overall damage, right? But I think the first thing would be to like double check like where the hyperstats are at. So I think like that setup that I mentioned, I think that will end up getting you a little bit more damage out of the hyperstats, which should help you a lot with your burst. Because like going into more critical rate should give you a really like a much bigger boost, but again, you're going to have diminishing returns, so then your hyperstats don't go as high into the critical damage and then go more into the percentage damage instead.
Yeah.
You have some percentage damage. I guess that's the other thing, right? Is with the extra percentage damage, then there will also be a lot of benefit for rerolling your weapon to more attack percentage versus 2 lines of boss. Then.
Yeah.
But even more so when you have but you're using roar, right? So you have a lot of attack percent and you don't have bossing FAMs, so it probably balances out. If I had to guess, because you got roar 4, right? That you burst in?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have no boss damage line on your secondary yet. So I guess that's the next move is probably to roll like a secondary on the side. But what's the plan for the main? Because you're doing easy Kalos.
I mean, the plan for the main is just to progress as I progress.
Yeah.
I don't really have an endpoint.
Right?
Yeah, I don't have an endpoint. I just have a point where it's like I no longer need money on this character for a very long time.
Yeah, because I would say 280 is a good point to start, like kind of like just flowing, doing like daily, weeklies, whatever you want to do. moving into like normal Kalos, easy Kaling, and making sure that you have hard Saren in like a party of 4 or fewer, and then being able to comfortably solo C10A is probably moving on from that point to the next is like a huge jump. That'll take.
I have a feeling
forever.
I should be comfortable at soloing them if I got good at them.
Well, there's definitely some gains to still be made. Like I think the jump towards there's still some star forcing, you know, like you have some arcanes here, 17, 18, 19. So like getting all the arcanes up to 21 will be a huge boost because it just means you're in the boss for less time. But I mean that's right. Like you should be able to see if you could just stay alive for longer in the boss fight and not necessarily have to rely on the boss fights being short. That's more like the added bonus that you get once you've gone past the point of, you know, how annoying the bosses are and how long they take, so that you can get that as like a reward for having to have suffered through it, and then the reward is getting to do the bosses quicker and not having to struggle as much.
Yeah. My Sea Gloom was like 9 to 10 minutes. I don't know what that translates to the other C10A bosses.
Sea Gloom was under 10 minutes? Just under 10 minutes,
Yeah.
you said? Yeah, Sea Gloom is now, I would say, like significantly lower than the other ones, and Sea Gloom is more of a burstable boss, right? So responds way better to burst, and the other two are more DPM intensive. So that could still mean that the other two would probably be over 15 minutes each.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
That's not unreasonable for a boss.
No, and for a main to try to get like priority pitches, I think for most people like on a weekly basis should be something worth considering if it's like under 20 minutes. The problem is if you need G skills for all of them, maybe you can do like one of the two with Sea Gloom within G skills, right? And then you can do the other one together with like Hard Lotus, Hard Damien, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I did this week. And last week.
How'd that go though?
It's fine.
Yeah, you got the clears?
Yeah. I mean, I did them with you.
Yeah, you have the event. Well, no, I mean, these. You did them with me.
Yeah.
We
What
did.
do you mean, how did they go?
We did
I
Hard
did them
Hilla.
with your Dark? No, I did Gloom.
Yeah, only Gloom, right? We didn't do Dark Hilla and Vihilla. Yeah, I was more meaning those two because those two are definitely a step harder than Sea Gloom now. I think because of the removal of the balls during darkness, that made the boss way more in line with the other stuff. But you have healing Femmes, so
That's all I
do
got.
Vihilla solo, yeah.
I've done normal Vihilla solo.
Yeah, normal. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I could always see if I have some character that, like, no, well, I mean, who loves Vihilla as a boss? It's the only people who love it, like I said, is the people who struggled through it for a while and then got to the point where they can, like, blow her up, and then it's satisfying because you know how annoying it can be, you know?
Honestly, one change would make me like Vihilla a lot more, and that's just bring the strings to the front.
To the front?
Yeah, like the foreground instead of the background, where it's behind literally everything.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you got the cleanse, and you're standing on the cleanse, and you get hit by a string while you're cleansing, and
I just can't see them. I can't see them behind her. I can't see them behind me. I can't see them behind anything.
The poison, yeah, this way. Sometimes the poison also completely obfuscates her attack, so you can't even see if it's green or purple. You just have to 50-50 guess it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't see anything. It's like if they made it like Kaling, where you could actually see the strings in front of everything, it would be a hell of a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, that layering is still a big issue in this game. They're slowly working on it, but it should definitely be better.
Like, do that one change, the fight becomes much more manageable. And it doesn't even really make the fight easier.
No, not easier, just less annoying, yeah. True. So is that something you'd want to work towards to get that? Because I think that's reasonable.
I'm fine.
Well, so slower. Well, yeah, duo those, I guess, because I'll always have like some character that wants to live.
I mean, if you have a duo that wants to do them, I'll do them with you.
Well, no, I just want to look at, like, for you, because it'll also be a big chunk of your crystal value at that point, right? Because just Hard Vihila and Hard Darknell together is like 1 billion meso, so you'd lose 500 mil taking someone there. So if you can, like, exchange with someone, that could also be something to look into, right? Maybe with the Lynn, to get the Lynn some more chances of arcane boxes.
Even right now, though, it's I don't care about the meso rate. I'm literally just going into public parties of 6 so that I get a box chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with Lynn, well, with the main you mean, right? Yeah, but the Lynn will be tricky for a while unless you fund it more. Otherwise, you'll just get red dotted out every time.
And that's what I want to get to be able to do, is actually fund the Lynn. But I'm still like, an event comes around and I have an arcane box, and now I slam it all into my main still.
Yeah. So what's the financial situation now? Like, how much money do you have sitting on?
Pretty close to 30 bill.
Okay. So this has been...
I've kind of been going from event to event, zeroing out.
Yeah, and I mean, up to a certain point.
About 30.
30, okay. Well, up to a certain point, just zeroing out on events is a good deal.
It's just happening too much.
Well, or you're
I don't get
not
time
seeing
to actually build
as much progress out of it, I guess. Like, the further you go, the longer. If you maintain the same income, you're going to see less and less gains every single time.
Oh.
Spending the same amount, right?
I'm not going to be spending too much this event on my main because I just haven't gotten any arcane backups.
Yeah, so you just want to wait for boxes whenever and then just slowly bring them up a star at a time, basically, until they're all 19, and then...
Well, they were all 19, except for the cape, which I apparently forgot about.
Yeah.
The gloves just boomed.
Oh, okay, gotcha, yeah.
I think 3 or 4 times.
Lovely.
Yep.
Yeah, what are you going to do about it?
So, probably this event, I'm just looking at getting the Guardian Angel, and maybe I'll throw money into the Dominator pendants to just tear them up.
Into the Guardian Angel.
The Guardian Angel ring to get that up to 21, and then the Dominator pendants to just have them at 21 or 22.
Oh yeah, you got 6 backups. Yeah, that's probably fine. What did you do with your... Didn't I ask this already? What did you do with your Superior Godlix pendant? How did that happen? 19.
I don't remember.
That's convenient.
I don't remember.
Whoever did that, though?
I might have actually tapped that on the pendant itself.
I might have, okay. But you're still doing
Or I
points?
might have just... I don't remember how it happened.
Okay. Well, let's make sure we think about that before we let that happen again.
It was a long time ago.
Okay. It was old you, younger you, making decisions that were perhaps a little bit suboptimal.
I don't remember how it happened. It just did.
I will just deal with the reality at hand. The belt is 21, right? I think I saw that down here.
I might have safeguarded the pendant to 18 and tapped afterwards. I don't remember.
Safeguard to 18. Or maybe you didn't do anything with like a reinforced or with a Dominator transfer?
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I don't see why I would have stopped at 20 to transfer over.
Yeah. No. Well, yeah. But you don't know, so it's possible, right?
I don't remember.
Who knows? Yeah.
I might have transferred over at 20 because it kept booming at 21.
No Daybreak? Well, I think he only did like 6-man parties Vihila a few times, so probably very few chances of it. I know Saren yet, so... Right? You're not doing Saren yet, right?
I killed Saren like twice.
Twice, yeah.
Okay. Or maybe 3 times.
Probably could do that, yeah.
The party kind of died out, though.
Ooh, that's unfortunate. Okay, so anyone looking for Saren party? Is your Ikalos party, is that a set party?
Yeah, the Ikalos is set.
And it
was the one that was doing
Saren?
Saren. It was the one that was doing Saren, but we brought in somebody's bishop for it. That I guess was only a temporary thing. And without that bishop, we're not doing it. The bishop was holding Saren in phase 1, and it was probably the only reason we weren't dying out to Gage.
Gotcha. Okay. So huge difference without it. You're like, let's look for another person.
Yeah, we
Gotcha.
were finishing Saren before summer or noon,
Just
whatever
like
the
one
second stage.
rotation, or yeah.
Before the full rotations, like we were doing it in the second part, or
Yeah.
just after the transition into midnight.
Mm-hmm. All right. So keep your if you're a bishop and you're looking for an already full party, they can take you to Heart Saren.
Mm.
Or are they all like spoken for now, or is everyone just not running from that party?
The most of them just aren't running, if not all of them.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not
Right. So,
100% sure.
well, let's see if there's a support who wants to start running. Maybe they can reach out.
That party
Uh.
dropped from being full to I think 4 recently too.
Mm-hmm. For the easy calling, you mean?
The Easy Kalos.
Easy Calasor, yeah. So people moving up to normal, or
I think so. I think some of them just dropped party to go because they were in a much further situation, and I think they went to normal Kalos.
gotcha.
Like I think 2 of them were like double the damage of the others.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what is still like reasonable, and that's what I think you want your set your eyes on is like a normal Kalos easy calling party, because the jump from there from
Yeah.
easy calling to normal is pretty substantial. Jump from normal Kalos to chaos is even more substantial, and then hard
I'm not
Saren and
quite
like a
ready for normal. I think
no.
I did a BA for normal, and I think it
Mm-hmm.
was like 16 trill.
Yeah, so you'd still want to make some gains there.
Yeah.
But like I said, like once you get there's a few 21s to finish. Like the range could probably be finished with the next event, and then
Hopefully.
yeah, hopefully let's pray on that. And then the rest is basically just trying to. I mean, it'll for most people it'll be like CRA to 22 and Arcanes to 21, and then that's basically kind of done. And then maybe just like one last round of some potentials, but then I think after that, all the money can start going to other characters for quite a while. Because really, the only thing you want monies for is then incidentally once you hit Eternals to just try to tap, and once you hit pitches to try to tap. But other than that, and those are pretty far in between. So you don't really need money for any of those. Like on hand all the time. You can really start spending on. If anything, you can even just wait around for like cube sales or until there's like a really big gap in events or no backups on a secondary character like the Lynn, and you don't really have anything to spend on, then you can just go around for cubing to go for that 2.5 line first, but you already have the quote-unquote 3 line on your glove, and you have the 3 line on your emblem, so there's maybe some cubing on like a side secondary. You see you have another secondary on the side, right?
I have another secondary that I've been just cubing with the drop stuff.
Yeah, because I think if you can get like a 2-line attack, 1-line boss on that, that would also take some pressure off of needing the boss damage overall, because like your prime line on your weapon is also not like the true prime, right? It's like the 35, not exactly the 40. So being able to roll, if you roll that on your secondary, then you can also reroll your weapon to like, I would say like to 23 attack and 30 boss, or anything better than that, and that'll bring
You
your
think it's worth?
WSC.
You think it's
Well,
worth doing that on an arcane weapon?
if you haven't started libbing yet, probably I would say, especially if you want to be looking at like going into normal Kalos and easy culling, because that
Fair
is
enough.
like the fundamental where your damage is going to be increasing. That'll make it so that you don't have to tap everything else to 22, and you don't have to full 3-line everything else basically, just by having the weapon secondary potential in order. Because right now it's missing like, equivalent of like 6% attack and probably like equivalent of like 3 to 4% attack on a weapon. So it's like a 10% attack loss equivalent, I would say, by still it not being like the best it possibly can be, but like just one echelon below that, right? Where it's like 2-line attack, 1-line boss. It would still be a decent amount of,
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think Dedutralizer was... Were you 279 or just 280 at that point? I think you were doing very similar things also on a Mercedes, yeah. There's probably some crossover there. Okay. Yeah. Mercedes? No. All archers are the same class. You'll find out soon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
close
Mercedes
enough.
for the dude. Best class. Oh no, wait. Wild Hunter was best class. Never mind. The Cat Daddy.
What? Nah. Mercedes is obviously the best class. Terrible
Obviously.
mule, though. I would
Yeah, you
never
don't think
recommend
so?
it as a mule.
No, you won't. But it's got such
No.
good, such a good 33-minute burst and amazing DPM.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
I think it's too much work and too
best.
expensive.
Okay. Well, that's a shining endorsement. Um.
I
Okay,
mean,
so I think there's some overall, but yeah, I would double check with what like people around like level 280 say specifically for archers for like the critical rate amounts that people get to. Because I wouldn't be surprised if just redoing the hyperset slightly and the Legion grid according to what's best there, because it could definitely be a little bit out of IED like you were saying. Because I would look into just equipping the 20% IED familiar instead. And then if you keep your visual IED probably like around 94 or so, you should still be totally fine with the extra IED from... Because if you get 50% off of the spikes, right, it means if you see 94 in the stat window, that you actually get functionally already to 97 just by yourself.
yeah.
And then you have Archer link skill over the Mage link skill over that, you have your boost nodes over that, and then any party buff over that, you're going to be at like 98 plus. Pretty much always. So that's totally solid on everything like Kalos and Kalink Plus. So
Yeah.
I think if you can get visually with the IED fam like down to like 95 visual and just scrape some... I mean, hypersets I would always go up to 10 basically, because up to 10 is just so cheap. Start there,
Yep.
and then look how much more you need to go in the grid, and then you can fix that one little blob on the top left as well. That's just an eyesore. But then you have an excuse to redo that one as well. And the little one on the armpit there on Dex.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it seems like minor things, but I wouldn't be surprised if you could get like another 2 to 3% FD just out of optimizing that. Whereas spending that kind of money to try to get 2 to 3% FD on, Star Forcing if you don't want to, or on recubing on items that you might, not hold on to forever, that's going to be way less of a permanent change. So I would do those things first, and then kind of see where you're left after that.
Yeah. I wish I knew why that pendant was 19.
Yeah. I just look at it, it's like, I just wonder, what the story is here. So what is the journey that this pendant has gone through?
I unfortunately want to say it was probably tapped to it.
Might be one of those blind taps where we just changed from like the really slow animation to the really fast animation. You're just clicking because you're just used to it taking so long, and then you look back and it's suddenly 19. You're like, oh. I would not say that I've never done that. So.
I mean, I was intentionally tapping it. I just don't know why it's 19.
It's peculiar, but I guess we'll never know. If you don't know, we'll never know. We can come up with a whole bunch of theories. So yeah, for the secondary, you're just stepping on the side, but like secondary and then weapon after that, that's mainly like a cube sale effort probably, because you're not like in any dire straits for immediate damage, and you're not getting arcane boxes right now, so tapping that to 19 is not really the case. So like you said, your ring, and was there something else that you were thinking about maybe doing?
My ring? Oh,
yeah, the slime ring? Yeah, for this Sunday, yeah.
For the event, possibly just sending the Dominators to see if they hit like 22. Like all of them.
Because you have 4?
Well, I'm not saying to equip at 22, I'm saying just to send them to 22 so that I can have them preset for if I ever get a source. Like pre-source setup.
Pre-source setup, okay. And then, but how would you treat the superior pendant then? Because there's, potentiality for Daybreak to switch into second pendant. You're using the superior that's just 2-line Dex Legendary, and that's 19. So if you get a 22 into there...
I mean, yeah, I can send one of them into the superior. But it's like, just send them all because I'm thinking about just lowering the amount that's in my inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll send the Connor rings to 22. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Oh, so The reason I'm just like asking around to see what your thoughts on it are is because most people in this situation would kind of just like hold, and then wait until they get more daybreaks, because your inventory is by no means full. Like even if you had like
No.
another column of 4 like in there, I would still say like you have plenty of space and just hold on to things. Like there's no pressure to like tap anything early. But because the reason I'm thinking about it is that most people try to get the daybreak at this point, get like a 21 or 22 daybreak to replace the dominator with, for the set bonus, and then use the current dominator that they have to transfer that one into the superior to try to make that into like a 21 superior, and then kind of sit on backups so that you can have both dominators and daybreaks build up, and then when you get a source, then you have two amounts, basically double the backups that you can then rely on to hit the 22.
But
So I'm
most
wondering,
of the Misa's probably going to go to the Lynn this one, because I don't have anything.
exactly. So I think it'd be better if, even if you go for 22, you just want to set up in case you hit source. Well, if you hit source, you're going to have to transfer to superior. Then you have a 21 superior. You're probably going to use your first 21 superior as a 21 superior, so you're going to have to make another 22 dom into another 21 superior. And then are you going to transfer the 21 superior into source, or are you going to have to tap that second superior to 22 first? And then are you going to use that 22 superior over to 21, or are you going to make 2, right? There's like a lot of steps there in between still until you can use the source.
Yeah.
Plus, that and that money will just be sitting in those items versus using those items now to help the Lynn, to make sure that you can do harder bosses, to make sure that you can blue dot, to make sure that you can get armor boxes, right? And they go into arcanes. I think setting up that chain reaction will be better than worrying too much about the 4 DOMs and the possible scenario of a source which you don't have yet. Because you aren't really like even clearing Fiella at this point, right?
Nope.
And if you are, it's like with a party of 5 or 6, and then it's a 20 to 16 to 20% chance of 1% chance. So
Hill is just too lazy to learn right now, though.
I'm
gonna say with my Lynn, I only have 2 things to Star Force. It's just the CRA hat and the shield. And I
you
guess
have
the 17
you
Twilight.
got plenty of recipes, right? For
Yeah, I have like 20.
yeah, okay, that's solid.
If I can't get 20 with 20 recipes, I'll be annoyed.
I would be too.
I think I boomed like 9 hats, so there's that.
Are you considering, because having another secondary on the side, being able to roll that whole shenanigans, since the same thing is possible for shield, have you considered rolling on one shield until you get a really nice potential, then maybe rolling on another one until you hit one with the potential that you want, and then tapping that one to 20? Like afterwards?
I've considered it, but I'll probably just tap 2 shields at 20 so that I could have a swap to like a full int setup.
Okay.
So I probably won't care the first time.
Want to take us into the Cannoneer party with Clary? Yeah, why not?
Because I do think a full int setup on things that I could quickly swap isn't a bad idea for support. Just use during burst.
Refresh my mind on the Lynn scaling on the. Is it like similar to Benediction scaling on the final damage of the partner, basically?
It's every 1,000 instead of every 3 or 2.5 something.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they get you to blue, right? If like sacrificing your damage makes it so that you don't blue anymore, then it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's mostly just kind of a later thing.
Later. Yeah, it'll be for later. Okay.
But I think eventually I'm just gonna have 2 shields anyway. I don't know if it's a big deal if I 20 star 1 now.
No, probably not. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, probably not. I was just thinking, just like picking your brain on the general strategy. I see the glove here. Did you get the Ebzo glove? Because today's the legendary for gloves, right?
Did I not?
Oh, maybe it.
I guess I didn't link the Ebzo glove. The Ebzo glove is 1-line crit and like 1-line crit damage, 1-line stat, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's solid. That's solid. Okay, yeah, I was just checking because of the Saturday effect today. Yeah, no worries.
I have a arcane glove that I got to unique I'll probably throw a bit more money into it to get it to legendary.
Oh, I got arcane. Okay, yeah, nice. Yeah. I guess yeah. Today's a good idea to get that to legendary, and then tomorrow mostly. Yeah. So for star forcing, you were thinking because you already got to 21 CR rate. I guess the hat, right? The hat can go to 21.
The hat that booned like 9 times.
Yeah.
I ran
And
out
you
of
have
boxes.
2 backup bells.
I think I have like 2 backups to use for the hat right now.
Oh, you ran out of emblem backups. Damn.
Yes. Well, the first time I sent them to 19, I figured I'd just open a bunch to get the
Oh, for
um
flame.
yeah.
And you got rid of them
And
before the
then,
tapping, or?
well, that was a different event.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
I
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
back to it. I had like 9, 10 backups, and they just boomed.
Yeah. Right. Oh, but you kept all the ones you opened? Because I will say, like, your inventory, if you're ever
I
wondering
didn't think
about,
I
like...
needed to.
Yeah, well, hopefully that's a little bit of a cautionary tale, because, you know, for the 1 in 100 times that it happens, or to anyone else, if you have this much inventory space, please hold on to 20 hats. Like, because the situation
Yeah.
that it can happen that they actually all boom is worse than losing 20 inventory space when you have, like, I don't know, is this like 100 space available, right? There's...
Give or take.
Yeah, so it's fine to hold on to 10, 20, even like 40 hats here. It's not gonna like break the bank in any way.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It
it's
was
a little
just
bit
a situation.
hindsight.
It's like, why would I think that I'd boom 10 times?
Because it's MapleStory, man. It just happens. I mean, like, I didn't think that newbie safeguarding his Twilight marks to 17 would boom 7 of them before he saw 18 a single time. Like, that just mathematically makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
If you're going for 22,
that hat
then,
has seen
yeah.
20 once.
Yeah, well, yeah, and then let me guess, first tap 20 to 21 boomed.
It was either the first or second.
That first tap is so rigged, dude.
Most of the time, most of those hat booms are like 18.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that
Well,
makes
let's
sense.
see. I have.
I guess Eternals could go there. You're saving up for
Yeah.
Arcane Weapon, I'm guessing, though, right?
I'm hoping it drops.
Yeah. Okay, 'cause Arcane
I
Weapon is
should have
just
enough.
such a
I think I have enough
huge
droplets to buy one.
Mm-hmm. I guess you
Just
you
from
could set a
events and
time on
stuff.
that, right? You could be like, if I get like 3 armors or something before I get a weapon, then I'll just buy the weapon. And if I get a weapon drop before then I'll just buy the armors or something, as long as I get to like 1 or 2 away from the complete set, something like that.
Currently, my timer is the event.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Like,
so like 1
I
more
do
month.
kind of want to throw flames on it because I don't know where else to put the flames.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah, if you don't have it before the end of the event, just buy it and flame it, and then, you know, you can always look at like whatever kind of Star Force event is available there. Maybe use a 30% off to just get it to 15, because even at 15 with like a good flame and like an okay potential, it'll destroy Absolab. It's just not even remotely close.
I don't like leaving things at 15. I'd probably send it to 16, but I don't know. Maybe 15's fine.
Yeah, just look at like how if it's a significant enough upgrade over what you already have, right? And then, because if you're looking at trying to fund multiple characters and stuff, seeing where you can kind of like cut those corners, quote unquote, in terms of inefficiency, like, do you really need that Star Force, or do you just want that Star Force, right? Like, do you need that damage at that point, or you just want it? Because a lot of things, once you have a bigger account and you have like Legion and Link skills and all that stuff working for you, and you can throw a bunch of nodes on a character and immediately get that going, is you have to kind of get rid of that preconception of your first character on how much you needed to push things to make sure that you could get things done, because there's just so many other things that are already working. There's like better flames on average, better Star Force on average, that'll just get you already stronger than you were another character in a similar situation, that you don't need to push every single thing as much, and you can really start looking at just efficiency instead, because that alone will probably save you like 20 to 25% the cost of your upgrades, which just means that overall you can keep that progress going without needing to grind as much.
Yeah.
So that's just why I'm mentioning it. It's not like you can't do it, or, you know, if you want to, you can just tap it, right? But it's like with if you're doing your personal finances and stuff, is like, do you want it or do you need it? Like, if you have bottomless disposable income, then just fucking go for it, right? Like, no matter what anyone says. But if you get that going for a while and you notice like, okay, this is kind of like getting tricky, taking care of the things that are just necessary first, and then waiting for opportunities, waiting for sales, stuff like that, overall just make everything a little bit easier. Takes pressure
Yeah.
off. Because Emblem, that's in 2 weeks, right? Is Emblem till Legendary?
Is it?
Yeah, I believe it's accessories and everything else, and Emblem was not mentioned in the original thing, I believe.
Maybe.
So I think that's in 2 weeks. So then that'll be a good time to get like those things to Legendary for this guy, I think, for the next money.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was coming up.
Yeah, and probably like the belt and the earring, right? Like things that are already 21, they're probably going to stay 21 on this character maybe forever. So it's probably a green light that you can go to Legendary and start committing on the potential there, right?
Yep.
So then that'll be like the next things I would work on. Let's see. Yeah, it says accessories and more. So I believe it's just everything that wasn't mentioned. So it's like shoulders, emblems, hearts. That's all in 2 weeks on August 10th.
Yeah, I intend to use all the cubes that I'm saving from the event to do that as well.
Cubes are saving from event. Oh yeah, like the heart and the solids.
And the ring. Like the event ring.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's for the rerolls, right?
But
those cubes don't have. Those are just for just reroll cubes. But if you're going legendary, then you have. Is there a little bit of glowing cubes in there? There's.
I think I used the glowing cubes on the gloves.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Then you still have to buy for those cubes, right? For those events, at least. Yeah. For the T-Rep, because T-Rep for those other cubes is not affected.
Yep. Trying to up tier the gloves now. 20 cubes in, didn't go up.
Damn. Yeah, someone in chat said they spent $3 bill on their gloves and bright cubes, and it didn't to get it to tier up to legendary, which is
Yeah, I'm working on
bad times.
30 now. Oh, there we go, 25.
Yeah, there you go. Like 30.
Thought the event was
30,
supposed to make it better.
Average. Yeah, it should be like 16 or something. So, but you know.
Yeah, whatever.
Hey, it's still under average. Okay, that's the
I mean, it's
important part.
now it's just gonna give me crit damage instantly, right?
Yes, that's how that works. Yeah, you pay more upfront, and then you get the easier potential.
No, didn't get crit damage.
Not even 2-line crit damage feels bad. So that's what I would work on. And then, it's going to be tricky in the beginning, right? With a character like this, you're going to have one kind of treasuring to work on, and then at the same time, your CRA is going to be 21. So there's going to be like a big disconnect. But again, because you can push so much harder on the things that you have much of with your resources in the beginning, that also takes a little bit less pressure off of some things. If you're unlucky on something, don't brute force it. It'll comes when it comes. But when you do hit something, make sure that you can immediately like commit and Star Force to make it work for you, like the shield, right? So if you're sitting on 21 CRA, on 21 2 pieces of superior already, and you can get a 20 shield, and then you can get like, once you get like the arcane weapon, it's fine to have some other pieces not even be there, or a bunch of items like event rings still being there that are like quote unquote bad typically compared to the other gear. Your gear is just going to be mismatched compared to like what an ideal set is, but that's going to be fine on a side character.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about you're like a zero, you're like a never commercier, right?
I mean, I did commercy on my Mercedes until the announcement that they nerfed it, and then I stopped.
Well, you mean fix the bug?
The flame was a bug?
Yeah, that's how they said it. Yeah.
Oh, then yes.
The bug was that you weren't able to like reflame it afterwards because it would always be like a worse flame than before. So to fix that, they just decided to completely scrape the flame when you transpose. Like, oh, what a great fix! Thank you. We love that over here.
The fix that nobody asked for.
Yeah, or that nobody even knew needed fixing. Yeah, or was even the bad thing. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because that just
like I have like 300 coins. Just I can do commerce easy. I have a leveled boat and I can get the coins. I just don't know if I have any reason to do it.
Not any more on the Merc, I would say. No. No, if you had like an old pendant, right, transposed with the flame, then you could use that as like an alternative.
It's like I could send the Pat Mark to 2021.
That's something you could try. And if that hits, then that takes pressure. I mean, that means you can risk more with the eye patch as well, right? You can use it as like
but the eye patch is giving me 2 set.
Yeah, at best it would be like a 1-star gain or something, because probably 21 Pat Mark would probably overpower. That's 3 extra stars. He's
I was
level
thinking for the
140 piece.
transpose.
Yeah. I mean, if you do that with a transpose, then you can definitely... That takes pressure off needing to hold on to like an 18 eye patch just for the 2-set bonus.
And I mean, the dineros aren't exactly hard to get. It's just one more thing I'd have to do.
No, exactly. I mean, I would say as a thing to consider, but I think the other upgrades that we talked about will get you into a really good, solid spot for now. And then you can always see, like, if pitch waiting room just takes forever and you're hitting nothing, and you're like, I want to make sure that I have a little bit more of a guaranteed path forward than purely an RNG one. Then you can always, like, slide
Pitches
back
are
into
free.
it
I've already
easily.
seen 3 of them.
Okay, yeah. That's
They're
one
just
way
gonna
to...
drop every like 10 weeks, right?
Yes, guaranteed, I think. Yeah. Did you... Are you lighting a candle into your pitch shrine every week to make sure... Praying to RNGs?
You just have to go with less drop rate.
Right, yes. Lower drop
The
rate
reason
means
it
more
takes so
chance.
long is because people are going over the drop rate cap, and
Yeah.
it's re-rolling down to like 1%.
It goes negative? Yeah, it goes... Oh,
Yeah.
it's... Okay. Yeah, it's not like it goes to 400 and
You're
then goes
going
back
over
to
the
like
integer cap.
399, but it like goes... It starts back at 0. So you actually have like...
Yeah,
26%
you're going over the integer cap and
drop
just
rate.
resetting.
Right. So 426 is actually just 26. That's why nothing drops. Okay. Interesting.
Who knows? Maybe the integer cap is actually 425.
So it's 1%? What an integer cap is like 200. So it's actually... then it's like 25 again, yeah, because they were going
Well, that
over
would
twice.
explain why I got all the stuff at like 170% drop.
199 and 399 actual sweet spots, yeah. Imagine if somehow that like comes out of the maths. So many people will be like so upset. Because I mean, when you think about it, right? I've said this like a bunch of times, but when you think about it, people in non-reboot spend real money on cubes with a chance to rank up, with a chance to roll a potential, in the hopes that that potential affects the chance to get another item, but they don't know if it affects it and to which extent exactly. And like somehow that's legal. There's like so many layers of
here's the tinfoil hat. Between mules and mains, who has higher drop rate? Between mules and mains, who gets more drops?
Okay, but that's bias, okay, because you have more mules that you only have one main and more mules. So if you do more runs, you're just gonna get more on mules. It's basic maths, okay? But if you are...
I like my tinfoil hat.
But if you're a strength character, who rolls more? Like, what do you roll more? Int or literally any other stat in the game? And if you're an int user, what do you roll more? Strength or literally any other stat in the game? There's no way that shit isn't weighted. They actually definitely weighted that. It's to the point where I heard that people in non-reboot just like in interactive servers, they just roll their they trade their items to another character to roll the potential to hit the stat that they want and then trade it back. Just save money that way. That's how. No, that's not tinfoil.
Or you just
that's
roll a
true.
stat and sell it. Just roll a stat, sell it, and buy the one you want.
Yeah, just trade it. Hopefully your stat is or just roll everything on the character that gets the opposing stat that is the most valuable, and then trade and then trade up, and then you always end up making a profit. Genius. It's too much work. Come on, bro. You have to do a little bit for your money in the server.
Yeah, obviously the drop rate doesn't matter.
No, it's because it's 50-50, right? Either it drops or it doesn't. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, I don't know. I have 2 points in crit rate on the Lynn because I think Lynn basically
because at one point I needed it and then I didn't.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I mean, it probably doesn't do all that much because you have like I see you have 138 base crit rate here without like decent sharp eyes.
That's also because of my Legion.
Yeah.
Because my archer uses the crit in the whatchamacallit?
In the preset.
Yeah, the 20% crit from the not the Legion grade but the artifacts.
Ah, yes, okay. Yeah.
So all my characters get that.
Yeah, min-maxing that. I mean, you have the points to technically redo your Legion artifact when you're like switching characters, but I'm like, bro, either give us presets or
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I mean, I have all the other things that are necessary for damage anyway. So
Yeah, you're like almost level 30?
level 33 artifact level.
Oh, 33. Okay.
It's like I'm getting drop.
Wait, you were
rate in
28 here. What did you do in the meantime? Oh no, wait.
a couple
That's the
weeks.
wrong. And 33 here. Oh damn. You get 20 levels and 5 artifact levels. God damn.
Yeah,
Crushing it.
it's me getting all my Legion to 200 from the event.
Yeah, the amount of levels that you go up now severely depressing compared to early gains when you're going like between 8.5 and 9k, right? It's way less insane now.
Yeah, doesn't really matter.
It's progress. Slow and steady.
Yeah. It's like getting one extra character on the grid isn't going to change much. It's going to give me 2%
no.
crit damage.
No, once you pass 8.5,
During
it's
cooldowns.
about it's just about making 250s that like
Yeah.
gets you more space, gets you more grid gains. Then the only reason you would go levels at a time is if you want to bring up your Legion rate power to bring up your coin income. Then spreading it evenly is more efficient.
I think my coin income is fine.
Yeah, you got 7k.
I'm at 9k now.
9k now, yeah. So
Nine and a half.
You've been grinding hard at
No.
holding on to coins.
I mean, I just used my... I've actually been using the drop coupons and the meso coupons.
Good.
I just get more than I use, so...
Yeah, but I mean, then you can start using them on the bossing mules, maybe get more cubes, right?
I
Get
do
more
use them on the
flames.
bossing mules.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. I think that's a good standard spending to have them on, and make sure that with every single thing you kill on the Lynn or any character you want to have, maybe as a side character or as a higher level bossing character where it's at now, that when any drop that can be of any relevance, you know, whether it's just like regular pink bean with black bean marks, or if it's Helix, or it's even Arc for Dominators, you know, anything.
I use a 30-minute drop.
Coverage. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I use a 30-minute drop and a 30-minute damage on all my boss mules.
Yep. Sounds
and
right.
just do all the bosses that way.
Yeah, so I would say, yeah, so that Starforcing stuff we talked about, and then the, you did a little bit on Glove now, and then looking at the, in 2 weeks, like getting the legendaries within that, and then within the end of the event, the arcanes and the flames on there, on the Lynn, and then basically the next step would be, I mean, if you're looking towards, I don't know if you want to wait towards a total cube sale, but I probably started throwing some cubes here and there at like your secondary on the side on the Mercedes and see if you can hit like 2-line tech 1-line boss and then maybe redo the weapon.
More
But I
so
would
than
be
just the dropped cubes. Because all I've been
cubes.
using.
Well,
is
I would
drop
always
cubes.
use the drop cubes, but also just buy some cubes here and there just to like brute force it. Because if you're just waiting on the drop cubes, it might take forever.
Yeah. But it's
Because how
only
many
a
do you get per
6%
week?
attack gain.
Yeah, but the extra boss line will free up your weapon, and then will make it so that you can get another like 10% or 13% attack there for the boss. And I think that will be, that synergy will be more worth it, I think.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the choice from then is to see, like, if you want to try to go for boss fams on here, either by grinding here, grinding on Lynn, grinding on another character, and...
I mean, I have 200 grandest fams right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently trying to get... I'm using all the blue stuff to try and get my Lynn the drop.
The drop, yeah,
fam.
okay. Yeah, that's fair.
But it's just not.
It's just not happening.
No.
Feels bad, yeah.
Fams
No,
are
but that
shit.
is a good idea, yeah. Getting that drop early, getting drop on gear early, innerability, a holy symbol, what's the last one?
How much is small healing compared to normal healing?
30%. That's a good start, and the normal healing is 50.
No, no, I mean for the.
Oh, sorry,
fams.
that's drop rate. Healing, yeah. It's 10. Well, there's multiple different ones, but usually it's around, small healing is around 10%, and the medium healing around 15%, and the big healing around 20%.
Okay. Yeah, I just got a fam that was 2 small healing lines, so I was wondering
Yeah.
if that was.
That's equivalent to
20% or
one
if that
big
was
one.
10%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There are some
I was
lines
right
that are
about
like
that.
slightly smaller. I think there's also medium lines that are like like 12 or something, and then big lines
Yeah,
are
I think
like
I think the
15 or
medium
something.
party fam is smaller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But yeah,
well,
I got a too
we had the amounts
small human.
before.
I was curious.
Yeah, there was like a data mine file with all the numbers before, but it got like shut down. We got like basically like DMCA'd by Nexon because it's like proprietary information and shit. So I don't have that information anymore.
People like to data mine.
Yeah, they like to.
Just let them.
Little dwarves mining away.
Yeah. So I suppose I should probably use that 2-line instead of a normal healing.
Yeah, I would do that. Yeah. And then with the ID, you're redoing all of that. Hyperstat, Legion Grid, and then the yeah, and then in 2 weeks, I think you can get some more legendary stonks on the Lynn. Get like the bigger items there that are gonna last longer. So you don't have a heart here, right? Yeah. I guess you get one this event.
On my Lynn, actually, I do. I didn't put it
Oh,
up.
you have one. Okay, okay.
It's an 18% or 15% epic.
Yep. Epic? Yeah, okay. So I guess that event, so 2 Saturdays from now would be good to get like your belt, your heart, your earring, your emblem, those things to legendary.
Yeah.
And try to get some juicy 2-line on there. But other than that, yeah, I mostly save money for Arcanes when they come up, for Eternals when they come up, for pitches when they come up. And then the overarching thing, the main thing will be looking towards like Shining, in December, and Cube Sale in like end of November. Because that's going to be like a cluster of those 2 events. So it's going to be good idea to have a lot of money saved up for that event to really look at your account and look at where they are at and where that next step is, where they can go. So if you still need more damage for like normal Kalos, E-culling, smaller party Saren on the main, I don't think you will there, because I think it's more going to be about just waiting for backups for Arcanes and trying to use the next Shining to tap Arcanes to 21. And maybe...
I think normal Kalos is just me getting the final 2, like getting more levels and getting more sack.
Yeah, and or living. So that's why I think the other thing is just to try to get into Black Mage like ASAP and try to get practice going.
When it comes to Black Mage, how much damage do you need to solo it in 50 minutes?
That is a big jump compared to like meeting the requirements of just running. I mean, 6 job has definitely made that way more reliable. The main thing is like being able to nuke out a P1, which if you're Roar 4 and a Mercedes, that shouldn't be that terrible. You're just going to be in there for a long time, and mathematically, yeah, people are saying in the chat that you can. I think mathematically it's possible, but it's all about just like downtime and staying alive. And like you said, like you do way more damage in the burst comparatively to like outside. So it's going to be all about making sure that the damage is
burst
applied 100% properly. Well, no, but you can't afford to run if you're soloing. You're going to have to squeeze in damage the whole time. Otherwise, you're just not going to make it in the amount of bursts that you can do.
That combo.
I was just left with 1 life in under 10 minutes last month. I should practice BM again. Yeah, maybe. Oh, well, but you do struggle from once you get stronger, you do struggle from getting worse at lower level bosses because you stop paying attention to the mechanics because you're super strong and you can clear it anyway, and you start getting sloppy. At least I noticed that for myself a lot. And then suddenly you have like hard Dark Now runs where you're like down to 2 lives or down to your last life near the end, and you're like, okay, I should be paying attention a little bit more here. And a BA to 3 minute is like double the damage of 35 with combos. That could also be a thing to check. I don't know if Class Discord has like some Class Discord has specific rules for people who can post their achievements of like soloing Black Mage. I don't know if those are around. If that's the thing, you could check. They probably post like how strong they are, or you can ask people like how strong they were when they soloed. I wouldn't be surprised. What's your BA for like your BM BA per like damage per second?
I haven't done one since like all the changes to all the things. I think it was around 100 when I did it before the mastery, before the final damage changes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, because 100 bill a second, it should be.
Yeah. But since then, my Kalos has doubled.
Yeah. Because I think I might be wrong, chat, but like, do most people look for like their BA for soloing like around 250 bill a second, 250 to 300 bill a second? I mean, if you're looking for a 50-minute clear, you could probably be on the lower end of that. But I think most people try to clear within around half an hour, right, to have the G skills up. I mean, I know Resenton is doing the same thing because, like, damage-wise, it's not really the issue. The thing is just like if you'll have to use your Origin basically in P2 ecaling if you want to get to that point, or use use your Ring there to make sure that you don't mess up the P2. But yeah, other than that, like, you don't need the iframe or something for anything. It's a huge damage increase, right? Like I told you this before, like my damage on my Cannoneer probably went up by like, it was like 65% FD or something just for like living a weapon over a 19-star arcane. Just that much better. It's just sick.
Yeah. And I do have to get on that. I just never wanted to go into a group without knowing the mechanics.
No, true. Though, yeah, practice. Well, someone in chat was like that before as well. I mean, if you could find people, you know, do !BM, you just add people in there, and you look for some people who want to practice. If you get a group of like 4 or so people together, and you just yell in chat or yell at me, and I'll yell at chat, and we could probably find someone side character, and I can join on some character, and you could just do like a few practice runs to get that basic foundation, you know, laid, and then you can start practicing with pretty much anyone. It's really just like the first 2 or 3 runs where you just learn so much, and then it's just from there it's just fine-tuning P3 more and more, and just getting to P3, and then just practicing. Don't try to get kicked, you know. That's basically it.
Yeah. Yeah, my main hold up on Black Mage is that I don't have practice, and that's the biggest reason I haven't done it yet.
Mm-hmm. No, it's easy for people to not really feel the need for it, but then once you get to the point where the upgrades become so expensive that, you know, having a liberated weapon at that point coming in like a month or 2 means that you don't have to push on all the other items, and just the liberating upgrade will just elevate your entire character to the point where you don't need to spend money. But if you wait even just like a month or 2 or 3 or 4 or longer to start it, that means you're looking at like just so much time.
I've waited too long as it is.
Yeah, and I waited very long myself, so I definitely, like, I'm not like pointing the finger or something, but I will advise to like, and it's not as easy as just being like, oh, I'm gonna start doing BM. It can take like weeks or maybe even a whole month to get a whole party together of people who actually want to actively do it, who are around the same time, have the same time zones available, learn at about the same pace, want to do it together for like an extended period of time, not like for 1 or 2 runs and then you have to start looking for fills again. Although I will say looking for 1 fill on an already full party is way easier than starting with absolutely nothing. But my advice would be to look around, ask in the chat regularly if you see anyone mention BM, hit them up, add them on Discord, be like, hey, let's do this together, 2 or 3 people. If you each find 1 person, boom, you have a full party. You know, it's much easier for 2 or 3 people to fill up a party than 1 person to need to find 5 people. Use the BM Discord, maybe use REBOOT Central, maybe use the guild and the alliance. I usually have at least like 1 character available that I can like join in and maybe do just like 1 practice session. For like an hour or an hour and a half or something to kind of like break down the basics.
I'm not looking forward to doing BM, then living, getting to will, and having to solo it. Because I don't have someone to do it with.
I will say though, if you keep making that progress, by that time, just by general, that's gonna be like 5 months in, right? So you're gonna be even stronger then.
Yeah. You know,
it's going to be way less of a problem. You just keep everything, make sure you switch to roar, and you'll probably just wait for poison, and then you'll just blow them up like...
switch?
Yeah. True.
I don't unequip roar.
You probably will like 75 to 80% of his HP in just 1 burst by that time. And then you just like stay dead, wait for your burst to come back, or your DPM jump around,
Someday I'll just one-shot him in my Freuds. That's the idea. It's just not yet. I'm not sure how much my burst is.
Well, time to find out.
Mm,
Well, that's
I
another thing.
should
When
be.
you're soloing, then you can really see your progress from one
Yeah.
event to the next.
I just don't like going. My hang up on Will is I don't like going into Will for 15 minutes to practice the part I need to.
No, that's annoying. I've been advocating for practice mode on different bodies of the boss for years, but I don't know if they're ever going to do that. And with Will, there's no fast way to really get there. You still have to sit through all the tests, so yeah.
Took me forever to learn Helix because I never wanted to just risk my one clear a day.
Yeah. Yeah. At least in the past,
But
you had
once I
up
learned
to
Helix,
5 or
it's
6, yeah.
insanely easy on anybody with a charge.
That's it. Yeah, that makes it way safer for sure. You just
Yeah.
charge around the middle, make sure it has enough range
Yeah.
to get out of the breath range, and you're golden basically.
If you have a movement ability that isn't a flash jump, it's just free. But because I could never practice it without losing the little bit of coins that I would have gotten hard,
Mm-hmm.
because hard I could do it without having the breath attack. It just took
Yeah.
me forever to
Well,
start learning that.
well, that's another thing, right? That you could, again, it could be tricky, but like partying Helix is also an option. It'll be way easier. The coins are instanced. You'll have a higher chance of reinforced, and you have a small chance of superior as well. And you know, I have to find someone who wants to run it together and everything. But for that time where you're like in between hard and hell, that is something that often gets overlooked as an option.
Yeah, but you
You know, it's not
probably
ideal.
won't learn it anywhere near the same as if you just solo it.
For sure. That's why a lot of people now just just crash up to 260 and then you just throw your origin at
origin.
Helix, and basically every single character just nukes
That's
Helix with
more or
origin.
less how my Mercedes went.
Yep, exactly.
I think I cleared it like 4 times without, and then I got my origin. Yeah, like I looked up so many guides of Helix, and none of them give you any tips to actually doing Helix. They just tell you what the mechanics are, and it's the same thing with all the other bosses. It's like if someone asks me how you fight Helix, I tell them how I fight Helix. And that is every time he uses any ability, I charge to the other side.
Easy clap. Just keep doing that then.
Yeah, it's actually really easy. And then if you have some sort of summon, put it on the bottom for phase 2.
Yeah,
Yep.
having summon for the bottom is also a huge game changer. Not having to deal with the hand, the down jump,
I mean,
the possible
everybody
reverse.
has will.
Yep.
Everyone has will.
Yeah, you have to just
So.
make sure you don't use it, right? Like in the beginning, and then wait for the last, jump to the
Yep.
right side, use it, jump to the left, kill it, go up to the platform, and then kill it. Just kill P2 within 50 seconds.
Yeah. And then P2, if you don't have a summon, you have to wait for his eyes to go red and then go down and clear both sides.
Yep. Or for the hand, you can jump under the hand too.
Well, I'm more talking about the bomb. You want to avoid the bomb.
Yeah, I usually stay behind the portal so the bomb can't reach you at all.
But when you're clearing,
Mm-hmm.
the bomb can reach you again.
If you don't have enough range to reach the monsters, yeah.
No, clearing the monsters on the far side. You have to go down at some point.
Yeah, so you look for the hand, then you down jump, you just attack forward, and then you just jump right back up. Done.
Oh, so you're saying you have enough range to attack the other side of the boss.
Exactly. Yeah, some characters can do that. Well, quite some characters can
Marksman.
do that. Yeah, Marksman can do that.
Marksman can do it.
Cannoneer can do that. But yeah,
Two
otherwise you have to
largest-
put another summon there. Yeah.
It's like for the Lynn, you just jump down and use the summon.
Too bad you can use Soul
Assault
Giannis.
Position.
Cadena throws a
Yes.
Beyblade. Yep. DA
Well, if
can
you have
use
Soul
bats.
Giannis, you have Origin.
I used to, oh, dude, with old Helix, I'd have to use bats. Like I would, because part 3 would take the longest. So you stand all the way up there in P3, not being able to see anything, and then you had to perfectly time throwing the bats. They would fly off of the map, and then they would kill the potatoes on one side, walk all the way to the other side, kill a potato just before it hit the middle, and then kill the potato right after that was about to summon in the corner right before it despawned. And then you had to wait like 2.5 seconds or something, and then throw out the next one, so that you didn't have to go all the way down to kill and all the way up, because if you did that, you lost too much time and you can kill the crystal within the red bar. But yeah, now that red bar is still there, but the crystal is so much weaker than everything that it's never an issue.
Yeah, I don't like killing it on a Nightwalker or a Night Lord.
They don't bounce low enough.
They don't have the dash that you want.
Night Lord has the little
Yeah,
fart.
they both have a movement. It's just not that far.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think the Night Lord movement is far enough, and the Night Walker one is annoying because it's backwards.
Yeah, it's like with Shade, like with the back jump kind of thing. You have to kind of move around with
and
it.
it's pretty short as well, so it's
well,
just annoying.
I would say it's average. It's about average length, right?
Compared to what? What are you saying is average? The teleport is way further.
Well, yeah. If you can use magic, then you can get any distance
Rush
you
is
want.
way further.
No, don't worry about it. All right, let's see. What is... Did you have any other questions, I guess?
Not really. My main thing is just getting to the point of being able to fund another character. Basically every question I ever get, I just ask either my guild or chat, and I get an answer.
Yeah, because I think it's really just a matter of saving up resources that get you in the direction that you want, and then whenever an event comes around, look at what is most opportune on any character, and then jump on that, and then do just that, and then nothing else. Because in the beginning, you don't want to do that for your main character, because then you have too many like resources saved up that you don't do anything with, and then it's a loss, right? But once you start going into multiple characters, you'll always have some thing on some character to do, like, oh, maybe the Lynn will have like 4 armor boxes. Okay, so like working on arcanes on the Lynn will actually make more sense. Or maybe the main finally has like 2 pitches, so working on those makes more sense, right? There'll always be something, the more you play the game, that just jumps out as like, this is where your resources should go. Like, this just makes the most sense. And if there's nothing, you can always cube, basically, because off-event cubing is fine.
Yeah. I feel like if a pitch drops, I'm just gonna boom it off event. I don't think it matters for one item.
Well, eventually you want to get to the money where you can do that, yeah. But again, that's like for your main. But as soon as like a pitch hits on your side character, you're probably going to wait for an event there, because even if it does hit, it's not going to be as impactful. So why would you waste money, right? Or that's tautological. Like, it would feel more of a waste than to tap an off event there, because the upside is way lower and the downside is higher, right? So there's like, the margin of gain is lower. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if there are more characters that are not like your primary focus, there's going to be more things that you're just waiting on. And then what's going to happen is like, oh, this character, I like bossing on it, but I need to make a big upgrade. But, oh, I have like 18 Kana treasure rings and like 45 of every like CRA backup. I could just slam that on one event, because there's no other thing on another character to work on. And then, you know, get like EXP on this guy, maybe do Monster Park for a while. And now I can just do the harder bosses on this character with the resources that he already had. Because a lot of times people forget, like, a character gets funding for itself and resources for itself all the time, even if it makes 0 mezzo or the mezzo gets used by another character. You get money and you get value in the form of backups and in the form of resources that the character can use to upgrade itself, right? But that only becomes like clear over time. So you have to do that for a while and then be like, oh, this character has things lying around in its inventory, like it makes sense to make the jump on this character. And then you'll be able to just pick whichever character you like more and jump on those.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think it's worth keeping the spell trace?
The spell, the ET trace, or?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a very personal thing. Some people use that so they can, like, basically feel good about feeling bad about how lucky they are. Feeling justified in, like, my RNG is bad.
I mean,
For
it
some
saves a
people,
little
it's
bit of
just.
money, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah, that's the other thing. If you're just looking for purely practical, you have the space for it, and your next one will immediately start at 12, so they'll save a little bit of time. So in that case, I would say keep it. But if it starts interfering with your inventory space, I think it's totally fine to get rid of it.
But that ET is cursed.
Well,
It boomed too early.
if
It's
superstition comes
obviously
in,
cursed.
then well, I mean, it boomed too early because it was not its time yet, but that was because somebody threw it into the deep end and said swim, and it didn't have any floaties on, and that's why it went to heaven and became transparent, you know? I think it was helped a little bit in its premature departure. I still can't believe you blew it up 16 to 17. That is wild. The wildest
It
logic.
would have been 17 to 18, but either way,
Mm-hmm.
it never saw 19.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. We have an app
It
for the
boomed
guild. I
too
think I
early.
put the link in. Didn't I put the link in the chat? Your exclamation mark guild, yeah. That has the application. Not safeguarding pitch, he's off his rocker. Yeah, his logic was if it's gonna boom anyway, might as well boom cheap rather than boom expensively. Which, you know, you can't argue with that logic because it doesn't make any sense. So there's no arguing with it.
It's okay, it'll drop again.
Yeah, that's the other one. He's already seen 3 pitches, so obviously pitches drop all the time. Logic.
When you have more pitch drops than arcane boxes, they drop all the time.
Yeah, true. Can't beat that. All right, let's do some bosses. Mom is probably waiting us on a message.
Sure.
Get those bosses did. You got everything out of this that you wanted?
Yeah. I didn't really expect there to be much to get out of it, because literally all my questions get answered as I have them.
Yeah. We have like continuous sessions with everything in chat, basically. So.
Yeah, it's mostly so you can see if there is anything glaring.
Mm-hmm.
That
I would say like
wouldn't
the
see.
hyper stats and the Legion grid, right? I think there's definitely some optimization there that'll give you some damage to squeeze out of your account. I would say for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a
'Cause, yeah,
specific.
Any questions that I have would have already been asked.
Yeah.
So it's more answers that I wouldn't have asked.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Well, I guess an open call for Black Mage runners. Because you're setting up a party, right?
Sometime maybe.
All right, not too much enthusiasm, okay? Keep it
Not
case,
really.
please. Yeah. No, I think there's like dozens of people, hundreds of people, possibly even in your situation where you maybe don't want to get like hardcore carried, but you don't know where to start, so you end up kind of getting carried because people in the party just have more experience, and you're probably starting it too late. It is still pretty. I mean, it's a pretty daunting boss. It's a pretty big hurdle to get over to start. It's not. It's definitely not.
You
a
have
unique
limited
thing.
trees.
Yep. I mean, you have practice mode now, but yeah, the actual real thing. I mean, you don't do it. Yeah. I mean, you have limited entries, but if you were there back in the day, where for every single, you can only do one run per day to actually practice the boss, and you needed a key for every single entry. That was when there was a lot of pressure between people. Like, hey, if you're not learning fast enough, then you're holding the entire party back, and then people start getting low on keys, and then it's getting near the end of the month, and then yeah, it gets really competitive in terms of like kicking people and not being as patient. Whereas now, you know, it's already the end of July. The people that you find now are probably not going to be rushing to try to get July clear because they know that's unrealistic. So everyone's aiming for an August clear. You can probably do a few sessions of like an hour to an hour and a half where you really like grind down in the beginning, and then you set up like
I just have to
weekend
find
practice.
time for it.
Yeah, well, no, you have to make time for it. That's the important part. If you just
Same
wait until
thing.
you find time for it, no. If you wait until you find time for it, it's never going to happen. Or it's going to be like one practice run, and then 3 weeks later another 2 practice runs, and there's going to be no progress. You need to really make time for it. You need to find people who are on the same level of willing to make time for it, and then it's going to get in no time. Because once you get through that initial like practice and you get your first clear in, the amount of time that Black Mage takes per month is at most like an hour if you need to like rerun and like prep, and that's it. But you want to get to that stage, and to get to that stage you have to get through the annoying setup and finding everyone stage, and that's just where the hassle
solo
is. Yeah, or you wait even longer and you solo it. Yeah, that's the other option.
But I have the damage now to solo it, right?
I mean, it sounds like you have the. No, I was gonna say you have the conviction, but you don't really have that either. Yeah, but you could. I mean, you could always try. You know, you can always try to go in with everything. Now, that's the good thing about the practice mode is you can also
Yep.
just use the artificial buffs, and you don't even have to lose the cooldown. So you can
And
just kind of see.
at the very
how far.
least, I can learn phase 1 very well.
Oh yeah, you can get super good at dodging everything in stage 1. Yeah.
Super good at phase 1, the phase that nobody is in.
Well, you want to be there as shortly as possible. Yeah. The phase 1 is probably the worst phase if you stay in there for a long time. I don't think like worse than P3. Yeah.
Mechanics. When I looked at the mechanics, it looked like there was just so much going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like there's like metal plates falling on the side of the map, making the map smaller, and there's like the red lightning plus the 2 dudes like rushing around. Yeah.
Do you know how much damage you need to
so.
phase it?
I don't know that number off the top of my head now. But again, we have practice mode. Go in there with everything.
And yeah, I guess there is the 30-second invincibility iframe.
Yep. You can snap that one. Yep.
Maybe I can do it in 30 seconds.
Well, the thing is, you have to time your bind properly to time the 2 statues like on top of each other, right? Or as close to each other as possible, so you can double burst. Because with your hurricane burst on 2 statues like stacked together, that's going to be really, really good.
Yeah, I bet.
Untouchable makes dashes not apply curses. Oh, that's also really useful for yeah. And then 30 seconds frights, yeah. Plus insane 3-minute burst with roar 4, so I would say give it a try and just see, yeah, how far away you are. But you know, give it a few tries, right? Because it's very easy to fuck up like a little detail, and then, or like you bind them and then one of them still moves, or you origin and then you burst, and then you like, you know, like the order of things.
Yeah.
Maybe you bind and then you do your regular burst, and then you origin after that, like near the end of your roar, something like that. And then you do a little bit more comboing, something. I don't know.
I think damage is higher if I origin first, but I'd have to bind before I use my big hold down because the origin takes so much time.
Exactly. So maybe a few combos right after the origin, into the bind, into the full burst, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might take a few setups. I mean, yeah. Let us know how it goes. Do a few practice runs. It'll be your nice challenge for you.
Yeah, I was mostly waiting for the mastery and the practice mode before I actually tried to start soloing new bosses. How does one solo Cowling though? Is that even a possible thing?
Yeah. Well, the thing with Calling is that if you kill one of the calamities, you get portals and you can just go to another one. So you just go through all of them individually, basically, until you kill them all, and then do P2.
Fair enough.
The hard thing there is the P2 phase actually playing that. You'll have to learn a lot about that because a lot of stuff going on there. Whereas if you were the party, you just save up enough burst at the end of P1, go into P2, nuke it, and then start your P3.
Skip it.
Yeah, that's basically the P1 Black Mage of of Culling, yeah.
Yeah.
You just don't really want to deal with it.
I guess we have bosses.
Yeah, I'm messaging my mom, but she says she's doing other bosses. I don't know if it's anything important or not.
Okay. I have Origin this time.
Yeah, there's no problem. Okay, so I guess general advice also to like other people about like Black Mage and starting on time. Someone asked when is it too late? If you're wondering that, then it's probably too late. Basically, I think most people want to be close to libbing when you are moving into easy culling.
It's too late when you're already killing hard Theron.
If you're already if you're killing hard, if you're killing like easy Kalos and hard Seren, then you probably want to be like halfway or something living already. I would say at least halfway, yeah.
Yeah.
So probably start practice Black Mage and stuff once you start like approaching level 270 is like a good idea. All right. So I guess well to finish off the session officially, I wish you the best of luck on everything.
Where do you think I should put the flames? Just keep
The
saving them for the
flames?
Lynn's weapon?
Hold Lynn's weapon, possible eternal, and then if you get anything else by that time, other arcanes on Lynn probably. And then potentially, if you don't have anything else really to use it on, the Lynn's CRA can probably
Yeah, but not
use
like
quite
on
some.
the main. There's no point on the Mercedes at this point.
No, the arcanes are good enough. Maybe you could throw something on the book, but I would always look at, you can use like exclamation mark flames. Cost calculator. Book is what, 80 and 5 now?
Yeah.
Armor.
So you're roughly 130, isn't it?
That's 160, right? Yeah, I would say like around 130. Did I put 10? Oh my god, I put 10. Best. 3, 12, 10. So let's say if you want to hit like 140 or something, see how reasonable that is. That's average of 750 Eternals, so there's very small gains to be made there. 420, 300 to 420 for 135, yeah. So that's already like upper level shit. So definitely those other things we mentioned are probably, high priority. Okay.
Yeah. I think my worst flames are just on things that I'm not keeping anyway.
Yeah, you could. I would say also like maybe you look at the eye patch before the book, right? Because it's like a whole percentage all stat lower, so that's definitely cheaper. But yeah, if you're not sure if you're gonna frog leap and then miss it out again, then it's not as permanent, so it's not gonna stick with you as long. So you might as well move them to other topics first. There's got to be other events, and there's got to be other flames, and they're gonna come back. So
yeah,
it'll be fine. All right. Well, best of luck. And I'll see you around in the chat. Thanks for all your help as well with my
Are you gonna see me around in, I guess, some bosses here in a sec?
And the boss right now? Well, yeah, I'm messaging my mom. I don't know what she's doing. I think she's doing other things. She was like, "You were AFK, so I'm doing other things," instead of just like sending a message real quick and just asking. She's like that. She's like, "I don't want to bother you, but like this bothers me more than you sending me a message." But communication with family members always a.
I mean, you could have put it off again.
I could, yeah, but then I decided that was not a good idea. But yeah, we could. I mean, we probably won't do it later because then I was like, "Oh, it's already so late for me."
No, I meant the session.
Yeah, I know. I meant
put
session.
Up
Yeah.
The session again.
No, yeah, but yeah, you can keep on putting it off indefinitely. But yeah, I'll get back to you. I also need to go to the bathroom, but I'll just keep yelling at my mom and see what she says, and then we'll go from there. Okay?
Yeah. I'm in no rush.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, maybe tomorrow.
The boss is tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll ask my mom how she is tomorrow, because tomorrow's pretty open.
That's fine.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
All right, best of luck. See you in chat.
Yep.
All right, love you, bye. He's probably like, what do I do with that? Oh my god, you hit the actual kiss though. How did you do that? This man is a god. Random chat kiss and he got 0 attack. He didn't say it back. I was just waiting for what the first sound was that he made, and he did like and then I just turned it on. Alright, so if anyone else in chat is in a similar situation or has any similar questions, hopefully that was helpful for you as well. If you have different questions, reach out or don't. Maybe check any other sessions. Could be on screen. If you want a live question answered, check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/Scardor. I stream there every day, pretty much all day, every day, and answer all the questions in the chat that anyone may or may not have. And if I don't have a direct answer, I have resources that will direct you to the answer, or at least to enough information so you can make your own conclusions. Because that's a lot of times what I try to do, is just give you all the information, and then you can draw your own conclusions. You can go with your own pace from there on. I very rarely tell people exactly what to do and when they should be doing it. I don't believe in that kind of structure. If that resonates with you, we'll be great friends. Cool. I think we have two more, three more winners of the free sessions that we will be doing this month. If you want a chance to win a free session, make sure you look out for that monthly post around the 15th of the month. So you missed the last one. The next one in about 3 weeks, where I give away these sessions for free as well. If you don't want to wait, check out !coaching in the chat over at Twitch, where you can use the command. Those commands also have all the information to all the other sources here that I pull up. Those are all available to everyone, even when I'm offline. Over 200, I think it's around 300 commands with information that'll help you on your journey. And if you have follow-up questions, clarification questions, anything like that, just always hit me up in chat or in YouTube or like here in the comments or on Discord, or I'm available everywhere. Cool beans. All right, thanks for watching. See you on the next one or live over at Twitch.